to WRPB and WRPB Studios. Okay, so you guys know that I always say that I can't do what I do if it's not for the vets. And the veterans, I sad to say, are treated terribly, in my opinion, and we don't give them the support we need to. With me is Chris Nolan
Mm-hmm.
from Let the Heroes Know.
Correct.
So, what is Let the Heroes Know?
So Let the Heroes Know is an outreach program that we designed. We've been doing it for a long time. We basically collect up furniture and different household goods from real estate transactions that nobody wants. Buyers don't want them, sellers don't want them. And we bring them back out to the veterans that are in need, whether they're coming off of being homeless and just getting back to a place, or maybe they're just struggling a little bit. And what we found is it does a couple of different things, right? One, it opens up the conversation, which is pretty cool because it's a lot easier to ask for a couch or a coffee maker or whatever it is, as opposed to maybe some of the deeper issues that trouble a lot of our veterans. And then on the other side of it, it also empowers a lot of our veterans that maybe they want to help out, but they don't have a ton of disposable income that they can donate thousands of dollars or whatever it is to help a cause. They can get out there and donate a couple hours to us and help out, and help move furniture, help set up a veteran wherever it is, and or just get the word out there. We also connect them with other groups that provide the different services, whether it's providing dogs, PTSD counseling, whatever it is. So it's about the outreach at the end of the day.
And I think, if I get it correctly, Joe, and I'm just picking a name, now gets out of service, comes back to the States, gets himself an apartment, but it's expensive to get the things that you need, the day-to-day things you need. And they also have maybe some psychological issues coming out of the military or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're right. Open that door by giving them a couch or some silverware or a coffee maker lets you get in there and give them the chance to feel comfortable with you and talk to you with other things that they might need.
Yeah, it starts the conversation, and that's what we're looking to do. It's all about the outreach. When I served, and when I came off of active duty, I consider myself to be relatively intelligent, right? But even when I got here to this area in Florida, it took me a while to find all the resources and the other groups that were out there with other fellow veterans. So it's very difficult. We have our vets that move from place to place, and when they get someplace, they don't have those services. So, and that's one of the things that we want to make sure we're doing. We rolled this out throughout the state here about a month ago. I've been doing this for almost a decade now, but we rolled this out as an actual program to the state of Florida about a month ago. We did a big rollout, and we want to push this across the country and connect with other nonprofits that can provide these different services. So this way, we basically become a one point of contact. No matter where you're going, we can set you up with the different, whether it's household goods, nonprofits, other services that'll help out.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's a shame the way we treat our veterans. And I did, years ago, I think it was 6 hours of Marine Corps vets. So I did the World War II. I did another one, I don't remember which one, and I did Vietnam.
Okay.
So World War II, they just went to sign up to go into the military. It was an honor for them to go. The Korean War, they went. Vietnam War, they came home, and people threw bags of poop at them. They were treated like dirt. And that's really sad, because I know that I can't do what I do had it not been for people like you that risk their lives to join. And it's sad what we're about today and what's going on today, but it goes on constantly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 66. It's going on my whole life. You know, we're never sure what's going to go on. It's really a shame. And again, I have the freedoms I have because of what the vets do. So what you do to help the vets is so important because that takes one thing off of their mind. And
Mm-hmm.
coming back from active duty, and don't know, I'm just believing that coming back from active duty is probably very stressful.
Yeah, it's a different way of doing things. So you got to transition into a whole new life again.
Did you, when you got back, did you have family support?
I do have to say I have some pretty good family support in that arena, which probably makes it easier for me to do the things that we do now.
But what you do now, let the heroes know, is kind of like a supplement to family support.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You know, again, we were talking before the show. I guess it's tough if if you have PTSD or you've gone through things that most of us never, God willing, will ever go through, to ask for help for certain things.
Yeah, like I said, we rolled this out a little over a month ago on a statewide level, and we had a big event on what was it, October 10th. We had this big event, and we rolled it out to everybody, and we had over 200 people that attended in person. Okay, we had thousands of people that saw it online and that stuff, which was great, but there was 4 phone calls that I received. Okay, and though that was why we do this. And those 4 phone calls, each one of them thanked us for giving them a purpose and being able to help them on their journey and give them something to focus on. That's the whole thing, is if we can reach those people out there that need, some, a way of doing things, to join up with somebody to get that connection back that they lost when they left, the military service. That's what this is about. So while we had 200 people, and we're grateful for everybody that showed up, it was an awesome event. But those 4 people, they were the ones that were directly affected by it, and that's what this is about: getting the outreach, letting them know that they still have the connection to the people that they want to connect with.
What's like the most important item do you think that most returning veterans need? Besides, and I could be getting this wrong, the one-on-one support from other veterans for emotional support, I think is so important.
Well, I mean, the one thing that every veteran needs is the camaraderie, right? That's the biggest thing, is when you lose that connection, you lose the other guys and girls from your units. You lose that connection, the way of doing things, and now you're back into a civilian way of life, and it's very different. A lot of civilians, they just don't know, and they try and connect on a level, but they're just not there. So it makes it very difficult. Does that make sense?
Yes, because it's interesting because, ironically enough, I'm friends with a retired lieutenant, four-star general from the Marines, and when I met Frank, we hit it off right away, and he said, in the military, when you're in a unit, somebody in that unit gives you a code name. So I said, okay. He said, his was Rhino.
Okay.
I said, I'm never going to call you Rhino. I'm always going to call you General. I'm not going to call you Frank. You earn that respect. He says, Wayne, your code name is the Professor. And in that little moment, and it was really a small moment, I felt the connection that you don't find normally, because I knew, and he told me, you can't give yourself a code name. Someone's got to give it to you. It kind of, I never served or whatever, but I know the importance of the military, and it kind of pulled me in to him and a connection with him. And I was only with him like one day that day. Okay, now I see him all the time, but you guys are together all the time, and you guys go through things that we can't even comprehend.
Correct.
Okay, so for you to come back and know that this is what's needed is a blessing in itself, because I couldn't start something like that because I don't know. I don't have that background to know. And when you were sitting filling out your paperwork, it was incumbent on me from my heart to say thank you for your service. And I say it to the police officers too, because it's, I don't want to say it's a selfish job, but it's kind of a selfish job. The hardest part about it is not knowing if you'll ever see tomorrow.
Right.
I live, I've been on my deathbed 3 times. I live knowing that your life can turn on a dime. They live on your life can turn on a penny, because things change out there in the field all the time. So to have the thought that you're going to be discharged, is that like a scary thought because you're going back to something that's so different?
I think I think that's going to depend on the person. It's going to depend on the person, but yeah, I mean, you're going from something that whether you're in for 4 years or 20 years, it's very systematic. It's actually kind of funny. When I went off to boot camp, everybody said it was going to be all this chaos, but for me, I was 22 when I left for boot camp, and for me, I knew that there was going to be chaos. It was order. I could see the order in which they were doing everything. It made sense to me, and that having that discipline there, it makes things. It just puts a position of clarity on things.
People come back with and they come back to no discipline.
To no discipline. That's where a lot of the issues arise. It's just a different mindset at that point.
And I think let the heroes know, and I could be wrong, is not, hey, they got an apartment, we're going to give them a couch. I don't think that's your main goal.
No, it's about the outreach to provide the connection back to the military community. We know that I can only do part of it myself.
Right.
But I also know that my part is to make the connections. That's what I'm good at. Make the connections, whether it's with the household goods or introducing them to other programs that have the specialized needs that they're looking for that particular person.
So, you guys you bring a couch to a vet, and you carry it, 2 guys or whatever, carry it in, and you sit down, because you carried this couch in, and you've opened the door to a conversation.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And you've opened the door to a conversation to somebody who's been through what you've been through?
Everybody's story is different. No two people see the same situation the same way. Some of us have different, similarities, but no two people have experienced it exactly the same way. So it's about getting them where they're comfortable. I don't connect with every veteran, right? We've done different things, and I understand that, and that's fine.
But your idea is to connect in some fashion to help them move forward within their life.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're getting to the top of time. How do people find you? You have a website?
Yeah, lettheheroesknow.com.
I'm not going to ask you the phone number.
But just go to lettheheroesknow.com.
And the phone number's on the screen anyway,
Yeah.
so it's not that big a deal. I always feel blessed when I have someone who served and they come into the studio here, because that's so important to me. And maybe I say it too much, but I couldn't do what I do if you guys didn't do what you do. Thank you for your service.
Well, we appreciate
Chris.
it. Thank you very much.
Everybody, check out lettheheroesknow.com, and we'll be right back.